there is a hidden history that has been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I'm on the trail of the Nephilim. Our government is still borrowing money. Sorry, printing money, $5 trillion in new money to be exact. What could possibly go wrong? Meanwhile, back at DC, consumer confidence hit a 10-year low. Inflation, 6.8%, with parts of the U.S. seeing rates as high as 8%. Something's not adding up, folks, is it? So what can you do? You can play it safe. Putting some of your assets into precious metals will keep your money away from the volatility of the markets. And this month, Noble Gold is giving away a free 1/10 of an ounce solid gold American Eagle coin with any qualifying plan you select. So talk to an expert at Noble Gold, and they'll run through the options for keeping your money safe. No pressure, no hassle, no call centers. Just a chance to speak to someone who knows what they're talking about for once. How refreshing would that be? Call us. 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347, or visit our website at noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. So here we go. There's Brian Forrester and his wife Renee. There's the Paracas Shore. You can see just the water, just incredible, incredibly beautiful. And when I got there the first time, I wanted to move there. So let me stop there. So we went to the mayor. This is the mayor's office. That is the mayor. And we're in his office. Check this out. So here's the motley crew. You see Irene and Brian Richard with the camera, Chase Klautsky next to him. And we're at the in the mayor's office, and we're talking to the mayor. Well, watch this. So there is Senior Juan, and the two men next to him are engaged, and let's put it this way, somewhat they are Wakaros, okay? That's what they are. I don't think it's any secret. People know who they are. The man in the center is actually a pastor. Go figure. But the Wakaros go in, the grave robbers, and they go into places like Changos and these other places, and they raid the graves, and they take the goods, and they sell skulls like this. The Changos skull, the real big one that we actually show in On the Trail of the Nephilim, the DNA results in number 6, and I've shown that in other clips as well from the film series. And by the way, our team was the first team ever to turn the skull upside down so we could see the placement of the foramen magnum, which showed that this is genetic, not the result of cranial deformation, cradle headboarding, when you wrap the skull of an infant. You cannot move the foramen magnum. It's set in utero. It's set right dead center of a skull. You look, and let me just show you this real quick, since we're on the subject, that if you look right here, you can see that this foramen magnum is all the way to the rear of the skull. It should be right there. Let me just move this out and use that. It should be right there. It should be in the center. That's where it should be. It's not. It's all the way to the rear. That's genetic, folks. You can't manipulate the placement of the foramen magnum. Rick Woodward, our team anthropologist, was the man who discovered that. And if you're interested in finding out more about the DNA evidence, it's episode 6. So here we are in the mayor's office, and it was quite interesting. So from there, another close-up of Senior Juan, another shot of the mayor. So now we're headed out, as you can see, we're walking into Changos. And what's amazing, let me show you right here. To the right, you can see the tree. And a little bit further to the right, it's a green belt, because the water from the Andes comes down, and it's automatic irrigation. It's about 2 feet below the surface. So when you plant, it just irrigates everything automatically. But where the water stops, you have total desert. This is what the Changos necropolis looks like, the Changos graveyard. It's thousands of years old. Let me go back here. This is a perfect example what I'm talking about. So on the left-hand side, you see it's verdant, it's lush. You can grow crops, all sorts of things. The moment you run out of water, the moment that water underneath the sand, 1 foot off, and that's what you get. So it's really an amazing, stark contrast between the two. And of course, the Changos Necropolis, we've actually led tours of our own there. Very strange place. Last time I was there was 2019 with Tim Alberino. That right there is one of the pyramids that, adobe pyramid, very old, very ancient. And this is done, of course, by the Inca. Moving right along. Another shot of Brian and an A pyramid in the background. Look way in the background, and you can just see that as far as you can see, it looks like the Sahara Desert. It's absolutely one of the strangest places I have ever been in 71 years on this planet. When you're walking on the sand, there's broken bits of pottery and mummy wrappings and bone and all just, broken. Sometimes you find intact pieces, and of course, other times you can find an entire skull, a skeleton. Right there, that's part of the grave, a grave. And Brian's walking way out there. There's the mayor on top of the pyramid. And he told us a very interesting story and you can see right behind him, the pyramid's there, and then right behind him, lush, verdant fields. There's no irrigation there, folks. It all comes up from the ground because of the underwater river coming off the Andes. It floods the plain underground, and you can just basically grow anything. It's incredible. But he told us a story that there used to be a lake in the Changos Necropolis, and one day a UFO hovered over that lake and sucked all the water out of it. Not the first time we've heard that. Let me go back, because that's the place where the lake used to be. Right there is where the lake used to be. Brian walking. And way in the distance there, you see the remains of another pyramid. Again, it's like walking on the moon or some other foreign area. It's so bizarre. Now let me go back here. I want to show you this. See this little impression right there? These were tombs, shallow graves. The Wakaros see them, they go in, they dig them. If it's an elongated skull, they'll take that. What they're interested in, of course, is the jewelry and the gold. Ron Moorhead. Ron was there because he's written several books on Bigfoot. He's had encounters with these entities, with these creatures. And Ron has seen the cone head shape of Bigfoot. So he knows that the skull shape is conical, and he wanted to come down with us to check that out. Look around where he is. You see human remains all around him. This is why it's a very macabre place. Quite frankly, I don't really like going there. I don't really need to go back to the Changos Necropolis. We've done our research. We have our artifacts. There's really no need to do that at this point. So let's continue. Again, you can see human bones and pottery. So the funerary objects are taken out, they're busted. They use rebar to find out where the tombs are. And when they hear the pot crack like that, they'll go in and dig, because they're looking for the mummy wrappings. They're looking for the mummies that may have elongated skulls on them. They may have gold or other finery. Another shot of it, walking out of the area. Now this is an area, I've never talked about this before on the show. Peru is full of strange, enigmatic, bizarre places. Here's another one. For whatever reason, there's this heavy, heavy deposit of salt. You can see it here. And so when you walk on this area, everything crunches. Here, well, you can't really see it. We are ascending. Now, one of the Wakaros took us up here because he had discovered something. Let's see what he discovered. What he discovered was a mass grave. We found over 60 skulls that every single skull had an indentation or crack on the left side of the skull, which means they took a war club, a blunt instrument, and went wham. There were no funerary objects, nothing like that at all. It was just what you see here, and many of the skulls were elongated. Another one of the tombs, you can see that there's 3 skulls. This is a mass grave. This was a killing field. It was very, very strange when we got there. There was no honor in it at all. There were no funerary objects like pottery or anything like that. Extremely weird. It creeped all of us out. And that's Rick and Aaron Judkins in the foreground, and Richard taking pictures. We immediately thought of a killing field. The moment we saw it, Rick and I looked at each other and said, wow, this is a killing field. And it was. This is a high place. We ascended up, very barren area, and it looked out to the ocean. So I actually had a forensic anthropologist lined up to come down with us for 2 weeks to study this site, because we knew that there was a highway coming in. I've been back. I was back there in 2017, 18. I'm not sure exactly what. Yeah, I think 17 or 18 when we went back for the last time with Mando Gonzalez, Chase, and Rick. And we went to this place again, and it had been staked out for like some sort of a, well, they come in and they stake these areas out like squatters. It had already been staked out. Most of the area was worked over. There was a road less than 50 yards away, the brand new road, the highway. So the bottom line is I asked this guy, this forensic anthropologist, come down. I'll pay you like, $1,000 a week. Come on down. This is a treasure trove. We want to find out what happened. So he was all set to come down. Last minute, he pulls the plug on it and said, no, I can't do that. I have my professional integrity to worry about, that they find out what I'm doing. So once again, here's an opportunity to study an ancient culture, thousands of years old, and the demise of those who perished in this killing field, and this guy wasn't interested. Unbelievable. Folks, if you want to find out more, please go to streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net. I love the feeds that I get from my iPhone every day, because it's so cool. They put these slides together in ways that I might not have done it. But there it is, and I hope you've enjoyed that. And we'll be back tomorrow with another On the Trail. But here's our daily UFO update. This is from UFO Insight. According to 1950s UFO researcher Frank Scully, a UFO crashed to Earth in Arizona's Paradise Valley in October 1947, less than 6 months following the famous Roswell crash. Furthermore, both the craft and its extraterrestrial occupants were quickly recovered by the United States military before word of the sighting could spread to the outside population. Further still, one of the state's tourist attractions, if we believe the conspiracy, was built to cover evidence of the incident. So I get these when I'm at conferences. Sometimes I get emails from people. So a woman came up to me at a conference. Her father was special, like a special force Navy SEAL. I'm not sure what, but special something, okay? And she told me that he told her, and I think the guy was close to his deathbed or whatever. And I asked her if he would come on the record. Of course he wouldn't. But he told her the story that when they had come back from a mission, and no sooner they come back and they were given yet another mission, and they flew to an area, and they were told that there was a craft that was down, and they all got to look at the craft. They got to look at it. The reason why I bring this up, it's very similar to the story. Notice the crack in the UFO where the thing is opened up. Well, all these guys went over and looked inside the UFO, and there were dead aliens there. I'm not making this up. Why would she come up and tell me this? But she did. And her father told her. Of course, he wouldn't come on the record. But it's all coming out now. You can't hide this forever. Look, folks, they're here. They're walking amongst us, the hybrid entities, as we've been talking about on and off. And it's just, it's unbelievable. So this special task force was tasked with the securing the area all around the craft. They were different points, and they quadranted it off, and then the military came in and removed the saucer and the occupants and everything else, not making this stuff up. Folks, our free film, UFO Disclosure, The Coming Great Deception of a Luciferian Endgame, is available. Just scroll down and you'll see it in the text box, free UFO film. There's the link. Check it out. Pass it forward. We are working on 2, 3, and 4. And I'll be telling you more about that. We've had a little setback due to illness. That's why I haven't been here the last couple of days, but hopefully I'm on the mend and I'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, folks, remember, we'll see you on the air or in the air. Thanks for watching.
I've seen a UFO.
I've seen a UFO.
And I saw a UFO.
A UFO.